I my ramblings of the day. Rough day for me. Rough day. I don't even know where to start. I had this shoddy at work, right? Which I thought I was pretty cool with until yesterday. Well, this happened like a week ago to start. She asked me if I got friends. Damn. Tough question. Why? I got friends. I got people that I think like me, but shit. Most of the day, most every day, I be alone. Which is chill. I don't mind it. Until people start asking me, why you so weird? This, that. I don't think I'm that weird. I just think I got a different pattern of thought that most people don't have. Um, I question too much. That's chill. That's alright with me. I've learned to live with it. It's not the most pleasant thing, but I be around. Uh, at one point in time, suicide or something like that. I surely contemplated it. I had a lot of people in my life died drug overdose, close friends, rather I should say close friends, drug overdose and suicide, and I just don't think it's the path. I don't think it's the way. But the thing is, I believe we're all here and we all have a purpose. I think many people reject that fact and therefore don't fulfill their purpose. I think it's a ever long work effort to fulfill that purpose. You know, I think the way my brain works, the way I think is part of that purpose. To question, be a skeptic, in order to question the status quo that we accept. I don't think the status quo has been is a thing we should accept. I think we all are unique and gifted and we need to act on those unique gifts. I believe in a manner of speaking that this happens to be my unique gift, albeit it's brought me a lot of pain in my life. So, if you feel the same way as I do, just know that, well, for one, you're not alone. But two, um, life isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. I think life is in very hard right now. I think, the sheer amount of people accepting the status quo as just normal, is part of the reason it is so difficult because we don't bring forth a community in that manner. We just go to do what we're told to do because it's the status quo. Follow trends because that's what you do, right? That's what humans do. No, it's not uh, inherently true. Just know that it's not inherently true. Um, Donald Trump said he's gonna go to war. Well, we are already at war with Iran, but he said he's gonna bomb their infrastructure. I saw just not too long ago that he bombed a Iraqi aluminum plant in Iran. First and foremost, Iraq has kind of involved themselves in the war, rightfully so. The Middle East, if the Middle East falls to the Western world, to imperialism, colonization, and all that, I think more so it's a financial war than anything. They've labeled it a religious war. They've labeled it this, that. It's a financial war. Whoever controls that oil and whoever controls the flow of oil, rather, because there's plenty of oil on this earth, but whoever controls the flow of oil is going to essentially dominate. The transport of oil, extremely slow. Extremely slow. That's why some people, including the United States, I'm here in the United States, we haven't fully felt the effects of the slowing down of this trade. So with that being said, we will. Um, and a lot of people are going to suffer. More so, I worry about the well being of the nation because the world has essentially condemned us because our president, rightfully so, obviously we voted him in too. Yeah, I think the government needs to be completely reworked. I got into a discussion about that today with someone I care about, and and the way I see it, the government would have to collapse in order for it to be reworked because there's still going to be roots planted in it. If we just try to rework certain things, it's just not going to work. It's corrupt. It's been corrupted. And in order for something that's been corrupted, you can't just purge that corruption using the same system and using the systems at place that using the systems that the system has given you. Um, that doesn't work. Obviously, every facet of it has essentially been corrupted. So, um, that scares me because usually when you bring something down, oftentimes it comes back in a worse way, or in the process, it's worse. But they've gotten to a lot of people. Follow the money, and you find the source of corruption. So I had one beer today. That was nice, but I struggle to see the plot anymore. I struggle to see a way I can um, be happy or content with my life. I find that to be a serious problem, and I don't think I'm alone in that. What do I do? Go to work, and I'm tired. Food's getting more expensive. Not only that, the food we eat is poisoned. And I hate to say that because it's not. It's just, it's not poisoned. They've just reduced the nutritional quality of most foods. I just seen a little clip talking about herbology. Herbology is something I've been interested in for a long time now, and I've essentially studied medicine a long time, most of my life. Since I was a kid, I've wanted to be a doctor, and so that's one thing that's been fascinating to me. I would like to then state that the start of medicine came from herbology, a huge part of it, and then alchemy, and then chemistry, and then, biology, studying anatomy, physiology, all that sort of stuff. It's all related. Now, where it ties into herbology is that's pretty much the main source of where we get all the chemicals to put into the food, to put into medicines. Aspirin, for example, is from the bark of a specific tree. I just don't remember the tree. Um, you know, there's okay, we can go to penicillin too. How did they find penicillin? Mold. They cultivated it, and then no, someone left mold. No, they left their agar plate out, growing bacteria, and mold happened to get into it, and he sees a ring around the mold, preventing the bacterial growth. Right. Um, that's how he saw. Oh, something in the mold's killing the bacteria, right? So, um, there are so many great properties within food, within nature. Oh, I'm sorry, not food, but nature, herbs, all that sort of stuff. Bacteria, archaea. I believe it's the dose that makes the poison, and it's equally so that's the dose that makes the medicine. You could look at fentanyl, for example. That's a man-made opiate. And what is the original opioid? Opium is. And opium is a great medicine, and also it's been used as a drug for a really long time. You should look at the opium wars or opium dens in China. That was a huge problem in China, and their government back in the way day was like, all right, we need to do something about this, and they banned it and all this sort of stuff. But it's a medicine. Fentanyl kills you, as you know, right? But also, if you've had a surgery in the past, I don't know, 10 years probably, you've probably had fentanyl, but it's just been in such a low dose that, it acts as it was intended as an opiate, and not a poison to your body. But it's just a crazy world we live in. I fear for the future. People aren't having kids in the United States. Why? Because it's too damn expensive. How can people afford to have children when they can't even afford their own life, and to live? So, and I think we have a lot of luxuries, sure, but we also our freedoms are threatened more and more each and every day. So I don't even know where to go from here. That's that's what I'm gonna call it. It's April 7th, 2026. May God bless. Praise be to the Lord. And I pray that we have a brighter tomorrow, brighter future. God bless, and adios.